I have no idea what the heck is going on today, guys. I mean, I pressed play on that thing and it wouldn't go. And I'm like, what is going on? And then when it finally came up, it started on like number 8. It didn't put the opening picture in there. It's been one of those days from one of those crazy days where technology just doesn't want to cooperate, folks. I'm sure we've all been there. And I just sometimes I wonder, what in the world is going on? But nonetheless, folks, welcome back to the Players Edge podcast. You can see there are just the 4 of us. It's like the Beatles getting back together, man. It's myself, Terry Hollywood Hay, 52-1 Tom. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. And Swiss Army Shawn. Terry, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing really good. Had a pretty good day. Wife treated me really well. Didn't have too many honeydew day things to do. And I was excited about our pick 4. Came close, but we had some bum rides in that third leg. So.
Yeah, they were not the best of rides in that third leg for sure. That's one of the things about taking closers, right? If they get traffic and you don't pick the right path, and you run into a wall and you got to wait for horses to clear, or you run up on somebody else's rear, you're not going to win. That's 52-1 Tom. The reason Tom is 52-1 this week, he's on the Mania side of things, because we did Hong Kong last week, and that was our first weekend for me, but I didn't do so well. But Tom, you did pretty good at Hong Kong.
I had winners in both the all-weather races and was a clunkers in the turf racing. But again, we get some of our weird payoffs, and the exacta paid $654, and that's not a bad exacta.
No, we'll take that one every day. I mean, if you told me I could take a $650 exacta or a chance to win a $10,000 exacta, I'd take that one every single time. So tomorrow we're going to be doing what? England? Is that right?
Yeah, we're doing British Champions Day at Ascot. So there's one race is a win and you're in one. That's with Palace Pier running, and the other ones are a challenge.
No, I think they have 2 of them there tomorrow. They extended that for sure.
Yeah.
Swiss Army Shawn, what's happening, my man?
I'm good. A lot of sports going on, a lot of horses going on. I'm good. A little disappointed we couldn't get a guest, but tends to happen. I can confirm next week we will have jockey Victor Carrasco for Laurel Park.
Oh, nice. Right. Yeah, because it's Maryland Millions next week, so we'll be doing that. So make sure you put that on your calendar, the Maryland Millions. We're, in between here and the Breeders' Cup, racing takes a little bit of a kind of breather, if you will. So we decided tonight to do something a little bit different. Instead of just concentrating on one track, there are 4 major stakes races, and for some reason we decided to do 3 of them and not 4 of them. I'm not quite sure why we just didn't do all 4, but I guess 3 out of 4 ain't so bad, to somewhat paraphrase Meatloaf. We'll start off in one place we've been doing races at pretty regularly. That's at Belmont for the race number 6. It's the Sands Point Stakes. It's a $200,000 race, 1 1/8 miles on the inner turf course there at Belmont Park. And typically when you look at that distance, it's one surprisingly that really, as Jose Ortiz told us in the podcast, that favors position more than it does, running style. Although meet to date, closers have done exceptionally well. And you find that the rail hasn't won yet, and neither has the most outside horse if it's got an 8 or above on it. So we're going to do something a little bit different tonight, Terry, in another respect too. I'm just going to talk about we're going to run across the screen here and ask one another what's their top pick for each race, and then see if there's any kind of consensus, and then build out from there. So in this race, Terry, who is your top choice?
I like number 2, Jordan's Leo. She's finished in the money 5 out of 5 starts this year, and she's won 2 of those races. And the trainer, Todd Fletcher, and jockey Luis Saez combo in the last 14 days have had 2 winners out of 7 starts and a third. She has a good workout. Belmont, 4 furlongs for 48.2 breezing, was the 3rd best out of 17.
How about you, 52-1 Tom? Do you like Jordan's Leo too, or are you going to go a little international flavor?
I'm going semi-international because you raced here last time at Belmont. Number 3, Harka Juka. That's it was an Andre Fabre trained horse that now has been transferred to Graham Motion. And, I liked her first start. 3-year-old stakes, had some little issues, but it was first start in the here. She's a Group 3 winner in France. She seems to like the good going much better than many of her races, which have been on soft track. So she's done much better on a good surface. And I think the surface really will make a difference, and I really don't see anybody beating her.
Shawn, do you see anybody beating either Harajuku or the 2-horse Terry's pick, that being Jordan's Leo?
So we'll just pretend I'm Terry and Terry's the guest because I'm going to agree with Terry. I like number 2, Jordan's Leo. It's performed really well at good prices since going to the turf. And I think this is going to be a really, really slow pace. And this horse has the tactical speed to be right there. 1 for 1 at the distance and gets Luis Saez for the first time. So I think this horse could be good. I believe you will get somewhere around 6-1, maybe a little higher, because of the 2 favorites are definitely going to be betting our major players.
So if you feel like the pace is going to be slow, Shawn, why wouldn't you focus on Higher Truth, who is going to probably be the one that takes the lead, and then it seems to be maybe a little bit better horse according to the odd maker over there, David Aragona.
So because strictly that, a lot to like here, but always comes up short. Last 3 races, lost by less than a length. So I don't want to take a short price on a horse like this.
I understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the pace play. This is my second pick. But as far as prices, I'm going to go with the 2 and trust the 2 more. The 5 just seems to be one of those that just likes to hang around and just lose.
Just doesn't know how to find the winner's circle, huh? Well, it's going to be a tie because both Tom and I like Harajuku. So, but I do have the 2-horse Jordan's Leo as my second pick. Terry, outside of the the fighting with paper going on over there, who do you like next to Jordan's Leo?
I like number 5, Higher Truth. Can either run on top or close from behind, which is an angle that I like. She has the highest last race speed rating and figure, and she's actually tied. And her best turf speed is among the fastest starters today, and she wins 27% of the time. The trainer does when bringing a beaten favorite back. Jockey I read Ortiz in the last 7 days have really been on fire. He's finished in the money 11 times out of 20 starts and won 6 of those.
Tom, do you think that the 5-horse is going to get to the lead and look back or not? Well, I mean, no. I know you got Harajuku, but anybody beating the 5 to the lead?
Nope. But I don't know. I really don't know who's going to be leading in this race. It could be anybody. I mean, one of the long shots maybe get fired out there. But I went with one of the closer for my second choice, and number 1, Third Draft. Tossed the last race, and it ran second at Saratoga in a good effort. When I went through the lines, its maiden race at Keeneland was at 1 1/8, which is the only other time that she's run this distance. And she finished a strong second, missed by a nose, and it was a future stakes winner who won that race. So looking at that, you're thinking maybe finally she gets a distance or a little longer and more suit her for the kind of her running style. Again, if it's a slow tip up, then she won't have much of a chance. But if it isn't, I think she's got, and she likes to run wide, but she drew the 1. So that'll be very interesting to see how they maneuver her around to get her into position to have a chance.
Yeah, she's 30-1, so that's a pretty good price right there. Shawn, who's your top long shot here?
Top long shot?
Yeah, top long shot. I'm going to throw you for a loop here. I know you like to go chalk. So let's go ahead and throw a long shot in there.
My third pick was number 4, Runaway Rumor at 8-1. I think, it'll be close enough. I don't want to take one of these deep closers in this field because of the slow pace. I think it's going to be a slow pace. So I like Runaway Rumor to come up, get third, and maybe even possibly win. Jose Lozcano on the turf. I think it's a good price.
Has won 3 times at Belmont, so out of 4 races. So definitely a horse for the course, right? Hasn't won anywhere else. Terry, you got a long shot playing here or no?
Well, I think so. I have, I don't know if she was long shot or not. Fluffy Socks. She ran a decent third in grade 1 at Delmont Elks, and she has the highest last speed rating. And her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. She has a trainer, Chad Brown, and also jockey Joel Rosario. And in the last 14 days, they finished in the money 5 out of 6 times, winning 2 of those.
So if you were to bet it, Terry, how would you line them up? What would you look at? Exacta, trifecta? Is this Terry all over the favorite overall, or what would you do here?
No, I'd do a trifecta with a 257 box. So
257 box. Shawn, any plays for you that you would consider here?
I would do 20 to win on the 2, and then box the 2, 4, and 5 for exacta and try.
All right, and then you, Tom?
I take 20 out to win on number 3, and I would box 1, 8, and 3, and an exacta.
Me, I just go 2, 3, 4, 5, box them for a trifecta, and hope that my 3 horses come in some order, particularly the longest shot on top, followed by the second longest shot. Another way I like to do these bets is I like to go 2 over 3 over 4. So I'll put my 2 top picks on there, which would be the 3 and the 2 over to 2, 3, 5, and then over to 2, 3, 5, and 4. Those are the 2 ways I usually bet trifectas. Sometimes I'll go 3 over 2 over 4, but that's pretty much how I like to line them up. So the next race we're going to talk about here is we're going to go to a track we haven't really done ever, I don't think, guys, and that's Delta Downs.
yeah,
We haven't done that, right?
No.
not that I can remember.
So, yeah, we're going to really break out our handicapping abilities here for sure by running over a track that we've never run over before. Shawn, looking at this race, 7 furlongs, it does seem that it does have a little bit of a speed bias, and it looks to me like you kind of want to be a little bit, a stalker bias, not a speed bias, not a closer, but you also kind of want to have an outside post. Did you take anything that stalks and goes outside, or do you just look for the horse that can get to the front?
I went to a stalker here just because in this race, this is the opposite. There's a ton of speed in this race. So I think the favorite's going to be pushed here. So I went with number 5, Choo Choo's Legacy. I think this horse could get good position here. Has won on a fast dirt track, 5 of 7 starts, and got second the other 2 times. Won 3 of 4 with Joe Stokes aboard, who will be aboard on Saturday. And he'll sit right off the speed, and I think there's a ton of it here.
How about you? What do you think of that horse, Tom? What do you think of Choo Choo's Legacy? Nothing?
I had to go with the favorite. I agree.
No parole? The 4 horse?
Yeah,
Tom, you
number 4.
disappoint me.
Yes, I know. But it's got a lot more speed than the other horses in this race. It is a grade 1 winner. It's 2 for 2 at Delta, so it's handled the bull ring turns. And Terry's our bull ring specialist, so you can ask him about that. And the only thing that really concerns me with is the layoff. But some of the works are good. Minute breezing, 59 and 3, 47 and 1. I think Tom Amos has got them cranked up to go.
I agree. Terry, you got him on top?
I certainly do. I have the same horse as Tom.
No parole.
I don't see anything really beating him. Like she said, it was a grade 1 winner and is dropping in class. He has the best dirt speed among today's starters. He's also 2 for 2 at Delta, so he's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horse for the course, and he likes bull rings. So,
yeah, looking at, when he lost last race, that was 17 lengths. He lost to CZ Rocket, Whitmore, and Emperor of Gold. Those are pretty good horses. They're not bad. I think some of them might actually end up in the Breeders' Cup. If I remember, maybe I'm not sure. None of them.
Whitmore's retired.
Uh-huh.
I think CZ Rocket has not been informed.
Invited.
So they're going to run him.
All right. Well, maybe not. All right. But anyway, so smack me around now. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, I like the no parole too. So I just think it's going to be tough to beat. Been facing better quality company. Looking at those mid-pace numbers, Shawn talked about speed, but it's got the early jump, or at least going to be in contention with everybody else. But when you look at those mid-pace numbers, they just kind of smoke everybody else. So once they get past that quarter pole, I think he's going to go and pull away from the other speed and make some of the other closers come in. So for me, my second horse here is number 2. I think this is going to be a nice little price on Under Pressure. Doesn't look very good in its last race, but 14 times out at Delta Downs, has 7 wins, but more importantly, has run at this distance is kind of quirky. 7 furlongs. It's done it 4 times, won 3 and came home second in the other. And if you look at the Delta Downs races recently, he's 3, I think he's won 3 in a row at Delta Downs. So definitely a horse that's in form at Delta Downs. Shawn, now it's your turn to smack me around. Under Pressure got any chance?
Well, I'll go back to no parole. I do think he's the speed of the speed, but the problem
that's not what I asked you.
When this horse gets contested, he does just fade back. So,
well, do you think there's a CZ Rocket in here to contest?
No, there's not. So that's why I'm going to use no parole for second here. I just think he'll be worn down and he'll hang on for second, however, because it is the best horse in the race and probably the speed of the speed.
Speed of the speed. All right, Terry, how about you?
Yeah, I like No Parole. My second choice is number 5, Choo Choo's Legacy. Has won 2 races in a row and has the highest last speed rating. And then he's won 6 races out of 10 in his career. That's a 60%. He has a bullet work at Delta Downs, 5 furlongs, 103.2, breezing, best of 6. And so that'd be my second pick.
Do you have any prices in here that you like?
Well, let's see. Number 7, Grand Luigi.
Grand Luigi. Uh-huh.
Yeah, tried turf and broke bad. I actually looked at that race 3 or 4 times, and he didn't seem to like the turf, of course, and he's now back to dirt where he runs better. He's won 4 out of 8 races at Delta Downs, and he needs to break close to the top, and a shorter distance should help him.
How about you, Tom? You're the one that's usually good for a price. Which one do you like? None?
No prices. I'm 2, and as you echoed, I'll just do the same types of things. And 5, Choo Choo's Legacy. The only thing I'll add to that one is it has won at Delta Downs against Open Company as long, and so it's. I think it's pretty capable of being in there. I just don't think it can stay with no parole.
Yeah, me either. Shawn, any price for you?
The outside, number 10, Izzy's Baby Boy, has some late pace. So if it's the fast pace I'm expecting, I expect this horse to close into it. Has had some success at Delta. The concern is 1 for 17 on the dirt. However, he has been in the trifecta 9 of 17. So
yeah, and I did mention at the jump that the outside horses tend to have a little bit of an advantage here. So I think you're going to see maybe some outside. Maybe that 4 post for no parole might actually work to its disadvantage. If I was going to bet this race, I would probably kind of do a little bit of a Terry here in terms of an exacta or trifecta. So I do like no parole, but I'd probably go 2, 5, 8 over the 4 for an exacta for myself. And then maybe I would put the 4, just key it in a trifecta over to 285, over to 258, 258. Maybe throw another long shot in there, Shawn's 10, and to come in third and maybe fatten it up a little bit, because you're going to have to put prices behind no parole if no parole finds its way to the winner's circle. How about you, Tom? How would you strategize with a no parole type on top?
I wouldn't. I would. No, this is a race I would pass. I wouldn't. This is a no play for me.
Terry, you don't know the pass button, so what would you do?
Well, first of all, I do like another long shot, number 3, Lang's Day. He's won 4 out of 7 races at Delta Downs, and he likes the distance, winning 2 out of 3 races at that distance. But what I'd do is I'd take the number 4 on top and a $10 exacta with the 357 second, and then I would take and box the 3457 for $1.
Yeah. How about you, Shawn? What's your strategy with these short-priced horses like this?
Well, I think the 5's going to beat him, so I'm going to put 20 to win on the 5, and then I'm going to do a 5-10 exacto on top of the 4-5-10. And then if you want to play it safe, you can do a trifecta. I'd do something no parole on top, use the 10, and use a couple other closers. Because if he does hang on, I think it'll be a bunch of closers coming at the end.
All right. Well, we'll see how it plays out in our first try at Delta Downs. Now we're going to go to another track. That's the third of 4. For some reason, we skipped over the most expensive race on the weekend, the $500,000 Queen Victoria race over there at Keeneland. But that's what the heck. We'll go out to California. We got to honor our Terry Hollywood Hay with the Santa Anita race. It's the California Distaff Handicap. You have Warren Showtime as the 9-5 favorite. Tom, you've been disappointing me tonight a little bit without any long shots in there. Are you going to do it again?
Yes.
Who are you are you going with Warren
number
Showtime?
5, Bella, number 5, Bella Vita. I just couldn't get past her. I like her win last time out. Great. It was her best speed number ever. Mm-hmm. She's running the turf.
Are you worried about a bounce or no?
No.
Did you pick it because it is a foreign sounding name? It's got that Italian name. Can't get a foreign horse. You'll take the Italian name.
It runs. If it ran in Italy, maybe, but it's running here. So Santa Anita's about as Italian as I'm going to get right at this point. But yeah, I mean, I just couldn't get. I mean, I lost to Gamine, so is everybody else. It's been on the turf. It's its maiden win was at 5.5 furlongs on the turf, and it's never been farther than 7 furlongs. And I think this state bred race is right in her wheelhouse.
Doesn't seem like anybody wants to get near Gamine either, from what I've been hearing. For the Breeders' Cup, it might be a 4 or 5 horse field.
Yeah,
that's a tiny field because everybody's afraid of Gamine. Shawn, I know you're not afraid of Gamine, but are you going to go Warren Showtime or something else?
Oh, I'm going to agree with Tom here. I'm going to go number 5, Bella Vita. Should like going back to the turf, as she's been successful on the turf before, but hasn't raced on it for almost 7 months. Just won the last race on dirt that was at this distance, so distance ain't going to be a problem. And should be in prime position when projected leader number 4, Anna Fantastic, comes back to them.
Anna Fantastic. Terry, are you going to make it 3 for 3 with this Bella Vita, or are you going to go Warren Showtime, or are you going to do something totally different?
No, I'm going to make it 3 for 3. I think the same as Tom and Shawn. Bella Vita won her last race on the dirt, 6.5 furlongs. Now she switches to turf, where she has finished 4 out of 4 races in the money, and she's won one of those races. And she has the highest last speed rating.
Well, I have to say something, fellas. If it's 4 for 4, so that means it's an L, not a lock. Absolute. Maybe I make it an F. It's a fade, folks. Run to the gate. Whatever you do, just toss that 5 off your ticket altogether, because I don't know. I saw the movie Ghostbusters when they cross streams, right? What do you think happens when the 4 of us agree on the same horse in the same race without looking at each other's notes? That's to me either a very good thing or a very bad thing. I would suspect if we're looking at the horse like this, that 4 out of 4 are going pointing at Bella Vita, that the bettors won't be much different. So that 5-2 number is probably going to come down. Shawn, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I was going to say it might switch the favorite here, and the 5 might go off as the favorite. And
just because of us?
Not because of us, just because.
Because of you.
You don't. No, if you want to do that in the pool, Terry's the big better here. But no, just because, like you said, four of us looked at it and all 4 of us agreed. So you would think the percentage of people would same thing. So it's potentially either the 5's going to be a lot closer to the 1 and then maybe co-favorites, or the 5 may be the post-time favorite here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the post-time favorite personally. Yeah. Terry, if someone's going to beat our lock, sure, who would it be?
Well, I don't think Warren's Showtime is going to win, but it is my second pick because been 15 out of 16 races in the money and won 5 of those. She likes the turf. She has won 6 of the races. But number 4, Anna Fantastic. She's won 50% of her races this year and 40% of the races in her career, and she'll be running on top or close to the pace. She may just upset the apple cart.
Shawn, if someone's going to beat Bella Vita and turn our lock into the loser, the other L, who's it going to be?
Well, I went with Warren Showtime for a second, but it's another horse. The horse seems to always be there, but doesn't win as much. So that's why I use it for second. I don't know if she's not really beat her though. But she does like Santa Anita's turf course, winning 5 of the 11 races. So had to use it for the exacta.
And who's that? Warren Showtime?
Yes.
And how about you, Tom? Are you going to make Warren Showtime the back end of your exacta too?
I don't.
Oh, good.
Number 3, Pulpit Rider. It made a nice race last out. Late move. I liked it. Move forward. It's run this distance without success. That's my one concern. But the first start of the year was on the turf. It was a slow start and saved ground and then moved up. So I'm kind of thinking maybe it just needed. It's now in a better position to run a better race on the turf. Warren Showtime, yeah, it's a graded stakes winner and all this, but I don't think this distance is a good distance. It did win it's maiden on a 5.5 furlong turf, but it's been running miles and longer, and mile race seems to be in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking at this race. The rail has struggled, so I do have Warren Showtime as a little bit of an edge over the 4-horse Anna Fantastic. But the one thing is, I don't know, looking at the Shawn angle on things, it looks to me like Anna Fantastic might be the only speed in this race. And if you can get away with some, I mean, that's going to be contested. Maybe Bellavita can be up towards the front if she wants to be, if the pace is too slow. But aside from that, I don't really see anybody else going that fast out of the gates. And if that's the case, then you might be able to, with Anna Fantastic, get some 2 Emmys type numbers and find your way ahead of the better horses because you got a pace to your favor. Shawn, do you think, because you're the guy that likes the lone speed stuff, I'm just kind of surprised I haven't heard that name from you already.
Yeah, and I didn't even put her on the top 3. And I do like Edwin Maldonado is very good with speed horses, so this is the perfect horse for him. I felt like this horse was going to fade either way and was going to have to go a little quicker than she wanted to go.
All right. How about you, Terry? You mentioned it. You think Anna Fantastic can get to the front, stay to the front, and steal this one?
Yeah, it's going to be, I think she might upset the apple cart. But I also agree with Tom about Pulpit Rider. I think she'll be closing from deep and trying to catch the leaders and might just do that. I mean, the leaders might just fade.
I had Pulpit Rider dead last because, and not because it's because it's a competitive field. And when you look at that Santa Anita record, 1 win in 13 races and 4 thirds, it seems to me that she prefers other tracks for whatever reason. Maybe the San Gabriel Mountains are too close for her. I'm not sure. She's stargazing or something along, or mountain gazing. But I don't know. I just didn't like that 1 for 13 record. So the way I would bet this race is I probably would take the 5 and the 1 because I think odds are one of those 2 horses probably wins. Although I thought one of 2 horses would win today in the 3rd leg at Belmont, the pick 4, and they both got bad rides.
Blocked.
Well, I just think put in the wrong position, right? You know, I'm not a jockey. I can't say, but I'm going to go. I would do the trifecta: the 5-1 over the 5-1-4-6, and then the 5-1 over the 5-1-2-4-6. Try to catch some prices and hope one of the 2 favorites misses the board altogether. Shawn, how about you?
I would go 20 to win on the 5. Hopefully he's not the favorite. And then I would do the 2-5 in front of the 1 and the 1-2-5 try. The 2 was another one I thought will be close to the pace and would probably be the one maybe sitting behind the number 4, Anna Fantastic, the projected leader that I think is going to fade. So I think she'll get first run.
So now, Terry, Shawn said you're the big better. He's the one throwing around 20 spots on horses to win. So you're going to have to make sure that you go bigger than that. Or you can just you can go like $5 to make them look a little funny.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm doing. $5 exact. I'm going to do a 5, the 5 over the 1-3-4, but then I'm going to box the 1-5
for 50.
If I had that budget in here, I'd do that. But
we didn't get to the pick 4s or pick 5s yet. That's why he's going light.
Yes. That's yes. How about you, Tom? How would you play this one in terms of
I keep Bellavita on top and play exactas of 5-3 and 5-1 for $10 each. And I put 20 on Bellavita to win.
So Tom is kind of like that sneaky under the radar money guy right there, Shawn.
Yeah.
Yes, he is indeed. For sure. So I know we already talked a little bit about tomorrow, Tom, that we'll be doing some races at Ascot. But there's another thing going on tomorrow, Shawn, that I think is going to be just I shouldn't have put the expectations out there because whenever you put expectations out there, you kind of get let down a little bit. But I have a feeling that I'm not going to get let down. What are we going to be doing tomorrow night from about, 8:30 Eastern to like 12:30 in the morning Eastern? Oh, my.
Well, the live contest is tomorrow, free horse racing radar, Remington Park. So Rich and Terry will be live with trainer Carl Broberg, who has a bunch of horses there, always the leading trainer at multiple tracks, and a very entertaining person. Just if you don't believe that, just go to his Twitter before tomorrow and you'll find out. And then I might be joining later on too.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so it'll be a pretty interesting show. I'm sure Mr. Broberg, he says that his purpose of showing up is not to tell stories. His purpose is to stuff cash into people's pockets. So hopefully,
he's a bettor too. So he'll tell you how it is.
So hopefully, he's going to be at the track, right, Shawn?
I don't think he's going to be at the track.
No, he's got like a bunch of horses running tomorrow.
Yeah, but I've seen other ones that he's appeared on where he's wherever he's at betting, watching his horses, and
Well, maybe
So,
he's going to be home in his living room. That'll be even better.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll feel less refrained. Maybe, and whatever comes out.
And as long as he's winning, he'll be there all night.
Oh yes. Well, we'll hope that he wins. We'll pretend that he wins just to keep him there all night for sure. Right, Terry?
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I don't know about you, Terry, but I think it's going to be a ton of fun tomorrow night. So make sure you see that okay, help me out. You see that scroller on the bottom down there. I'm not even drinking. I don't even drink anymore. What the heck? But hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell. It'll let you know when we're going to go live tomorrow. Follow us on Twitter at Racing Radar. Like us on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up if you like what you see. If you like what you see tomorrow night, like what you see with Tom and I. And let me tell you, if he hits another 52-1 shot tomorrow in a $600 exacta, and you don't give us a thumbs up, you don't need to come back no more, right, Tom?
That's right.
I would hope we'd be able to do that without any problem. But it's always a challenge.
It is always indeed a challenge. That wraps up tonight, folks. I hope you enjoyed a little bit different approach tonight. We'll have a guest again next week for the Maryland Millions. The guest again next week, Shawn, is who again?
Jockey Victor Carrasco.
Dr. Victor Carrasco. Fantastic. Any final thoughts, Shawn, before we get up and out of here?
No, that's it for me.
Tom, any pearls of wisdom?
Yeah, bet winners.
Yeah. How about you, Terry?
Yeah, do your handicapping and look at it hard, but then take it easy and have fun no matter whether you win or lose.
Yes, indeed. Until next time, folks, as always, we hope that all of your picks end up in the winner circle. We'll see you tomorrow with Tom at 1 o'clock Eastern, again with Terry at about 8 o'clock in the evening with Carl Broberg. Looking forward to that. You're not going to be here tomorrow, Tom?
No, I've got something between 11 and 2.
Oh, so never mind then. We'll just post the pics on the site then.
Yep.
All right, fantastic, folks. Well, that ends that week. I'm glad I got vacation tomorrow, like Terry. It's in my contract in big, bold red letters now.
That's
all right.
right.
We'll see everybody tomorrow night. Till then, folks, may all of your picks end up in J. Marco's winner circle.
Winner circle. Yep.